And the T part of the matchup, we have the Terran player AI Revenge in the top right position here.
Yep, and his opponent on the left top hand side of Habitation Station, it will be the Teal Protoss player GraVe. So yeah, it's like you said, AI's Revenge. He's already has two of his teammates, I think, through, because CPU is also an AI, right?
Yep.
So he's got something to live up for that. They're actually doing really good in the Dutch StarCraft League so far. Golden looking like one of the favorites just to take it all from what I've seen from him. And CPU also in good form. I think he did lose against GraVe though, but ended second in his group. And today we've got Revenge, and that's a Terran player. I know that last week we guessed that there were no Terrans, but it's good to see one of them.
Definitely is the human race having their how should I call it, representative here. So it's not only us aliens competing for the grand prize. I mean, a lot of Zergs and Protosses. Nothing against anybody. I mean, I am a Protoss and a Zerg player myself. Unfortunately, I've recently been promoted to Platinum as Zerg, so for those of you who actually follow my StarCraft 2 recreational play, I would say, I vowed that I will master all three races. So I think I should be moving onto Terran right now, but I'm a little bit reluctant to do so, to be quite honest. And it looks like Odin either turned.
I'm back.
You're back.
I don't know what happened there, but there was a little bit of a cutout on Skype there. Don't know what was going on, but so far I did miss half of your story, so that's a sad part. But apart from that, we see a pretty standard opening.
Yeah, we do. Very interesting opening from GraVe, though. He opened with a double gas, but he's mining with only 3 probes, so he probably wants to have a slightly quicker tech, or maybe a quicker mothership core, or whatever the case, but certainly the mining distribution on these two assimilators is queer, to say the least. I mean, usually you see Protoss players either opening with double gas with 4 probes, or with a single gas with a single probe, so this has to come down to him having somehow calculated the amount of gas and minerals he's going to need. And if we take a look, he'll be expanding after he cancels the Zealot, and he does, throws down the Nexus, and has, well, almost enough for a quick mothership core. There we go, current boosting that out to defend versus the Reaper, meanwhile scouting the quick expansion of his opponent. So nice going there, GraVe.
Do you think maybe he just threw down the 2 gas geysers to catch his opponent off guard a little bit? Like, he scouts it, he sees double gas, and he's like, could be an Oracle opening or something like that, and he...
I don't think so, actually. It's now he's mining with 4 probes. Yeah, Skype is acting up. Have to say, I am not dropping any frames, and my connection seems to be stable, so probably not a problem on my end. Maybe I'll try to recall Odin.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Skype. I mean, the connection to the game seems to be flawless. Seems to be no lag or whatever. But with you, it's a little bit tough right now.
Yeah, I'll try to recall you mid-game. Wait a minute, just hang up and I'll call you again.
All right.
All right.
Let's hope it doesn't cut out this time around.
Yeah, exactly. Let's hope so. So now we know what this double gas opening very peculiarly timed was, because this is probably going to be a DT drop. We did see a robo facility to go down, followed by a Twilight Council and a second gate in tow. This Reaper, though, this Reaper's gonna scout the Twilight Council, and now Revenge knows exactly what's up. Gonna get a couple probes maybe for his troubles, but no. GraVe did not have his forces positioned in such a way that he could easily intercept the Reaper, and thus he will be ready for this. All he has to do is either build a missile turret or missile turrets and save up a couple of scans. There's the War Prism.
Yeah, I mean, he knows what is coming, and he should be preparing for that. I would like to see just a missile turret in each mineral line, or at least one missile turret in one of the mineral lines. He does have the engineering base, so I'm a little bit surprised we don't see it yet. The Marines are in a pretty good position to catch anything flying in them.
Yeah, I have to wonder. I mean, he did see the Twilight Council. if he's expecting a blink all in, then he's completely misreading both the map and the game, because blink all ins, I mean,
On this map?
on this
Oh.
map, it's just horrible. You don't do those on this map. You have nowhere to blink. That's for one. And another thing, blink all-ins have been out of fashion for such a long time. There will come a warp in of 2 or 3 DTs here. I expect 2. That's a little bit more likely. And the drop will try to continue upwards. We still have no missile turrets in the natural nor in the main base. No missile turrets going down. And this is almost, I have to say, almost like a free win for GraVe here, because he can warp in DTs defensively and offensively both. And force Revenge to make a decision. Where do I use my scans? And he's got 2 orbitals and energy for only 1 scan. There's the DT. He's pulling back all of his forces trying to defend. He knows in what danger he is, and he's got to be kicking himself right now. This missile turret will go up, but the DT will rack up a couple of kills in the meantime.
Yeah, this is such a good thing right now. All of these SCVs aren't mining because they're in whole position around the missile turret. It's just ring around the missile turret right now, and this DT just did so much damage. And I'm surprised that he didn't see it coming. Like you said, he actually wasted one of his scans on killing an observer. He was clueless that this was coming in, and now he's gonna force no mining in the main base for some time. He does have 1 scan available, so if he can catch it, could get rid of it. It would be good, because he really needs to start getting back into this game economically. But he actually saves the DT.
Hot pickup, baby! Hot pickup! That DT, or those 2 DTs, certainly have paid for themselves. I mean, GraVe is already transitioning. He's getting Blink, he's getting Immortals, he's got his Forge up, adding additional gateways, transitioning to Blink, Colossus most likely. And he's going to be taking a 3rd base. I mean, this is a very, very strong opening for GraVe. If we take a look at the resources lost, the Protoss is vastly ahead at this point, and he pretty much thwarted any push that might have come out of Revenge just by forcing him to stay inside his base and not drop. I mean, he cannot drop right now.
Yeah,
I mean, he could, but I mean, you know.
Yeah, that would not end well for him right now if he started to be aggressive. I feel like.
Ooh! Oh, now he can drop because he killed the War Prism.
That's a really good pickup, and he is gonna do just that. But I feel like GraVe has to be aware of this. He is. He's moving all of his units into the main base already. So let's see if Revenge doesn't overcommit. If he scouts on ahead, he might just go for the expansion now.
Yeah, he might. I mean, all the forces are in the main base, and Revenge is like, oh, you saw that drop incoming? Well, you probably moved all of your army into your main base. Guess what? I'm gonna hit your natural.
Yep.
So there we go. How many probe kills do you think he'll get? Because I doubt he'll get the Nexus.
He's gonna go for the Nexus.
Oh my goodness, I don't think this is the correct decision. The army's coming down. Will he get it before they get there? No, he will not. Full down overcharge, and an incoming Colossus forces the retreat, and well, he will be lucky if he will be able to save these 2 medevacs with the Blink already done.
I feel like there was a little bit of waste there. He could have ran in, killed at least 6 probes, then ran out, and he would have been completely fine. But right now he did a little bit of damage to the Nexus, but that's gonna recover quite rapidly. Of course, the energy. If you use the if you use the Chrono Boost, you can regenerate the shield faster on the Nexus, which is always useful.
That's always handy. DTs still being active out on the map. No 3rd base incoming for Revenge. Hallucination scouting the main base, seeing the number of barracks and only 1 starport. I think GraVe is going to be very, very, very happy with the number of starports that he saw, because he knows he can continue Colossus production and he won't have to worry about being harassed with drops too heavily while Revenge tries to get his Viking count up, and a 3rd base of course as well, but all of this plays directly into GraVe's cards, I have to say.
Yep, Revenge, his 3rd base actually got a little bit delayed. He wanted to throw down with an SCV, but there was a DT just being a little bit annoying there. That did get cleaned up after that though with a scan, but so far GraVe is still in an excellent position. You can see it in the supply, and he's also got the technological advantage in this game. So I would assume that he's going to build up that army that he finds ideal, and then just go for a big push. And it's gonna be up to Revenge to either do some damage to drops or try to prepare as good as possible.
Yeah. It's going to be difficult for Revenge, you know. I mean, the 3rd base is getting... Oh, GraVe, you need to control your DT a little bit better. He could have killed that SCV and delayed that third even for an even longer time, but it's not gonna work now, at least not that well. He's constantly scouting, and you know, Storm is on the way. He's halfway through on that research, constantly kernel boosting that, getting +1 weapons. He can add on a second forge if he wants to. He's got his third on the way, and once he has Storm, I mean, it will be very, very difficult for his opponents to survive a direct encounter with the Protoss army, because Ghost Academy is so far away, and right now Revenge is more concerned with Viking production than with Ghost production.
Yep, and Revenge actually, a lot of his army is in a spot where he doesn't want to engage the Protoss, that's for sure. He doesn't want to run into that third base. We do see, however, the upgrades going really fast, and also extra gateways being added on by GraVe, so if he loses a part of his army, he can recover really quickly. But look at this, this could actually work out now. He's moving his army in this third base.
This is going to be cancelled. It has to be cancelled. GraVe cannot hope to defend this. Cancel it, damn it. There we go, saving the 400 minerals, instantly putting it down again, but there's a huge drop heading for the main base as GraVe is chasing the Terran army and trying to obliterate it. He will succeed in doing so, and the drop is unloading in the main base. A lot of probes will go down. Widow mines will help out a ton as well. This is not looking good. The main nexus could very well go down, as well as a couple of other structures. Let's see. Feedback's going down.
Warping in some high temperatures, but that's not gonna be that useful. It really needs the guys with the storms to be there, or the Colossus.
Oh my god.
No medevacs, though. He's gonna lose a lot of this.
Oh my god, he didn't even get the Nexus!
Yeah, this is actually not as bad as it looked. I was assuming that Revenge was gonna get a lot out of that, but the feedbacks and the snipes on the medevacs really did a good job for GraVe.
Yeah, they certainly did. I mean, it is true that GraVe had to rebuild his third base, but he is still in a pretty good position. He's got both tech paths open. His opponent does not have a Ghost Academy. He does not have Ghosts. His Viking count is, well, considering the amount of Colossus and Stalkers, it's, you could say, abysmal, or barely enough, with only 7 of them up in the air. And it's not like it's even gonna matter. I mean, we have 3 High Templars that have been gathering up energy for the past couple of minutes. GraVe is moving out, but here comes that drop again. Finally, the main nexus goes down. This was the pickup that Revenge was looking for.
Yeah, he's actually getting ahead in flight at this point. I mean, the army from GraVe is still pretty scary, but he's moving across with just Zealots and Colossus in the middle of the map, and that's not a good idea, I feel like, because the Vikings will just take out the Colossus immediately. Right now, if he would send all of his Vikings there, he could actually pick off all of them, including the Mothership Core. There's no anti-air whatsoever. There's a few High Templars coming, but that's not enough. I don't like this move out from GraVe.
Yeah, this was a little bit dangerous. I mean, that drop is still alive around his main and natural bases, and he's taking out more probes. The entirety of probes killed this game has risen to 33. That is a staggering amount for any Protoss player, and suddenly, after being ahead for such a long time, GraVe finds himself behind by 15 harvesters. I mean, that's, if you factor in the mules, this is really, really bad for him, and I feel like he has to move out at this point, try to attack, just not suffer too many more losses from those drops. But he has to hit his opponent's third, because, as you said, the supplies have flipped, and Revenge is closing the gap to 200. All he needs to round up his army composition is a couple of Ghosts, and he'll be ready, set to crush his Protoss opponent.
I don't feel like this army from GraVe is that dangerous anymore, though. Just when I'm looking at it, I feel like it can get sniped really easily. There's 2 Stalkers, it's still almost no anti-air. The Colossus are just going to melt. We can see the engagement right here, and already you can see it happening. The storms are decent right now, but that's all he has to defend for this. Look at the Colossus, they're just being sniped right now, and the army's all the way behind, and they're just going to pick up all the other units. This is a very one-sided engagement here, Bell.
Yeah, this is, I mean, GraVe had to have relied on storms, but he hasn't killed that many units. There's a lot of them in the orange and the red, but oh my god, Terran forces converging from all the sides. Hero Archon not even finishing his morphing, as GraVe has to tap out of the game. This was unfortunate, to say the least.